Cricket, a rare good thing to come out of British colonization, is one of the fastest growing sports today. 30 years ago, not a lot of countries were interested in playing cricket, but now many countries want to compete for the highest reward in cricket. Today's scam originates from the same land where the game was invented, Britain. Up until the 1990s, Britain only had one team playing international cricket, which was England. But then Ireland and Scotland started playing the game, and in 1993 and 1994 respectively, they got their international status. Hello guys, welcome to Logic Uncovered, where today we will uncover the scam behind Britain and its three cricketing teams, England, Scotland and Ireland. While watching this video, I want you to keep one statement at the back of your mind. Whatever rules and logic you apply to Britain, same rules and logic should also be applicable to all other participating teams and players. It's an international sport after all. The participation rules must be common. So let's cut to the chase and expose British cricket. Britain currently has three teams representing it on an international stage, namely England, Scotland and Ireland. British citizens are free to choose which team they want to play for while holding one common passport, the British passport. ICC, or the International Cricket Council, has not done a good enough job to clarify the criteria for formation of new teams. Britain has taken advantage of this rule and gone ahead and made three teams instead of one. So, the next question arises, if passport is in common, then what is the criteria for playing for England, Ireland and Scotland? Well, let's uncover this. Team number 1, England. In order to play for England, the cricketer should be either born in England or Wales, or he should have been a resident of either England or Wales for the past 3 years with a minimum of 210 days per year. Team number 2, Scotland. In order to represent Scotland, a player must either be born in Scotland or have the British passport issued to them in Scotland, or simply the person must be residing in Scotland for the past 3 years. Team number 3, Ireland. Well, I know that Ireland people have a separate passport, the Irish passport. So isn't that a good enough reason to form a separate team? Well, this is only the partial truth. So, for a player to represent Ireland, the person must either be born in Ireland or hold an Irish passport or simply be a resident of that region while holding a British passport. The Irish cricket team is formed in such a way that the players do not necessarily need to hold an Irish passport to play for Ireland. So to summarize this, a person from London who is not getting picked for his England team can just pack his bags and go to Dublin and stay there, take an apartment on rent and immediately start playing for Ireland from the very next day. Or he can go to Edinburgh and stay there for 3 years, play county cricket and be eligible to play for Scotland. All of this while holding a British passport. How is this logical? How is this not cheating? In my previous video covering West Indies, I have stated the one team one passport rule where every player must hold the same passport. Today, I emphasize this and say that every passport holding population must only have one team being represented on an international stage. I know a lot of you people around the world, especially the Brits, will argue against this and will defend the formation of multiple teams under one passport. So here are some logical statements for you. Argument number 1. England, Scotland and Ireland are all different countries. That's why they have different teams. Simple. Well, if they are different countries indeed, then show me their different passports. Show me an English passport or a Scottish passport. That's right, it doesn't exist. You have one common currency, the British pound. You have one parliament. And the post held by Rishi Sunak is that of a British Prime Minister and not of an English Prime Minister. Next argument. People from Scotland, Ireland and England have documents to prove that they are from these respective countries. Well, the common answer and logical answer to this is the statement that I gave earlier. Whatever rules you apply to Britain must also be applied to all the other players of other teams. And the passport is the only common document across the world which is known as a travel document and issued by every government to its citizens. Next argument. Well, these countries play separately in all team sports, from rugby, football, hockey, cricket. They all have separate teams for separate countries. So why should they now form a new team, just the Britain team, for cricket? Well, that's right. These countries have separate teams for different competitions. But what about the Olympics? Why do you play as one strong nation, Britain, in Olympics? What about Davis Cup in tennis? Over there also you just have one team as the Britain team, not separate teams. I'll tell you why you have one team in Olympics. In the Olympics, the medals tally is counted as a total. And if you have players and athletes representing individual countries, then each country, England, Scotland, Ireland, will be languishing somewhere in the bottom. but you choose to represent one country, Britain, so all the medals can come together and the country can be on top. Next argument. Britain and Ireland have dual citizenship. So if the players want to hold one passport or either passport, they should be allowed to play for either team. Why do you have a problem with that? Well, you're right. They have two passports, British and Irish. So the two teams that also should be formed must be Britain and Ireland. Why do you have Scotland and England in the picture? Further, I have no problem with an athlete changing his passport to represent himself in the international stage, as far as his passport matches his team. If the player is representing Ireland, he must hold an Irish passport, regardless of which passport he had in the past. If you allow dual citizenship, then it should be easy to get an Irish passport. Just get it. I will give you an example. Your captain, Ian Morgan, is born in Ireland, represented Ireland, and later on went on to be picked for England. But before that, he did take the British citizenship, and then he went on to play for England and became the captain. So here are some facts for the upcoming T20 World Cup in 2024. I'm sure a lot of you cricket fans are excited for it. The reality is that Britain will be having all three teams competing in this World Cup, Ireland, Scotland and England, while the rest of the world will only have one team per passport. I don't care whether you consider the British Isles as separate countries or not. What I care about is the fairness and the equality for representation of teams on an international level. It's the most basic thing any player can ask for. This is against the spirit of the game, and this is against sportsmanship. Lastly, to all those people who say that Britain is and has been a combination of countries, tell me one thing, will you accept it if India tomorrow formed four teams, North India, South India, East India and West India, and represented their players under different teams, forming four strong teams, while all the players together hold just one Indian passport? Will you accept that? Regardless of where you come from, you have to credit the British cricket team and their authorities for scamming the world of cricket in the 21st century. I mean, you need some level of dishonesty and cunningness to pull off such a fraud. If you are feeling bad thinking about the cricket players, then think about the football players for once. Britain has five teams in football: England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Republic of Ireland. All five teams collectively hold just two passports, British and Irish. Let that sink in. The British football scam and the British Olympic plus Commonwealth scam will be explained in separate videos later on. So please stay tuned for that. If you like the details in our video, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. What is your opinion on this? Do you think it's fair to allow one country to have multiple teams on an international stage? Let me know in the comments. See you guys soon.